Hey, do you want to be YouTube famous? Sure you do. You want to make them YouTube dollars, baby. Sleep with all them tasty YouTube fangirls or guys. And most importantly, feed that unchecked ego of yours because let's face it, you're better than everybody else, they just don't realise it. Well, you've come to the right place. So open your ears and take notes because I'm going to give you the comprehensive guide on how to rise to the top of YouTube and most importantly, do it with the least amount of time, effort, video creating skill and or talent in general. Step 1, and a very important step on this list when you're just starting out, be fake as shit. No, like really fake. No, like I don't think you understand, you need to be insultingly fake. Some tips for hitting this fakeness sweet spot you need to aim for is, be way more enthusiastic than what's justified in your videos at any given event. If you're doing vlogging videos and you see a bird perched on a wall, your reaction should be equal to, if not greater than, seeing Pope Francis in blackface. If you're doing gaming videos and you just completed a level, you best react like you just found out Margot Robbie's vertical smile cures cancer and the government has commissioned her to do door-to-door healing. If you're doing a, whatever the fuck you call these videos, and you're showing off some boring optical illusion, you best act like that illusion actually makes your parents not regret having you. The key here is to act and talk like you're trying to amuse a child that's old enough to somewhat hold a conversation, but young enough to be amused by this noise. This will irritate the shit out of anybody that has so much as a pubic hair of intelligence. But that doesn't matter, because of my next tip. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful... Your audience. Now as stated, you don't want to target people with enough brains to see you for the fake, untalented, arrogant attention whore that you are. No. Best avoid them. You want to target an audience that's broad so you can get as many easy views as possible, but here's the key. They need to be borderline retarded. Now you might wonder what audience is broad enough but comes with such a low risk of ridicule by said audience. White teens and pre-teens, of course. They're the perfect fan base for you. They're easy to pander to. They lack the social skills to know when someone's been as fake as a whore's moan. And best of all, they don't see the difference between a video that was carefully crafted over a number of days or weeks and a video that was half-arsedly shat out in a couple of hours. So you can shit out video after video and they'll eat that up like a malnourished dog. Now let's talk about the least important part of your channel. The videos. As your audience is going to be as smart as an inflatable dartboard, you lack any true creative integrity, and making good videos is hard, you might think you have little or no hope of becoming a YouTube celebrity. But in fact, my friend, you're already knee-deep in the winning formula. Forget funny, well-structured, intelligent or informative videos. Forget original ideas and forget search engine optimization. The secret to YouTube success that Google won't tell you is, shit out as many videos as possible regardless of how terrible they are. It's a numbers game. If you can make 10 videos within the time it would take a good creator to make one video, then you'll have 9 more paths to lead to your channel than they do to theirs. So that's 9 times more potential views and subscribers. Now, the clever among you might think that having one video that's better than all 10 videos combined would draw in more views and subscribers, as nobody would want to get on board with somebody who puts as much effort into their videos as a screenwriter does into a porn parody. And if this was a Hollywood movie or a piece of art in a museum, you'd be right. But a large percentage of people watching your videos don't have fully developed brains. They don't have money to pay to see content because they don't have jobs. What they do have is an internet connection and an iPhone that mommy and daddy bought them because that's just how parenting works these days. And that's all you'll need to focus on. So in general, the rule you should follow is this. Put out as many videos as possible, even if they're as undeveloped as your audience. So you've jotted down some easy, low-effort video ideas. Or if you're really clever, you just copy and pasted whatever was on the trending page. Now you're wondering, how do I open my videos? How should I introduce every one of my awful videos? Well, here's the thing. Even though you're targeting an idiotic fan base, and you have the power of numbers on your side with the sheer quantity of videos, that one good video from that one good creator I mentioned earlier will most likely outrank your videos. This is a problem, because said creator's video is in fact far superior to yours, as you well know, and will naturally gain more likes and engagement over time as people generally enjoy his or her videos and feel obliged to pop a like or a comment on the video stating such. Now your video's been steaming piles of semi-digested vomit. That's not something you can expect to happen on your videos. So how do you get people to like your videos? They won't like it once they've sat through it, that's for sure. But that in and of itself is the beauty of the next tip. What you gotta do is ask them to like the video before they've actually seen the video. Yes. That's it. Open your video and ask them to like the video immediately. Don't give them a chance to think for themselves. Distract them. Shout at them with all that fake enthusiasm you learned. Hit that like button. Make an arbitrary like goal that they should try to hit. 1,000 likes. Fuck it. Just beg. Get on your fucking hands and knees and beg for likes. Grovel. Grovel like the snivelling, desperate little greedy bastard you are. Beg, you slut.
I'm right here to stay where I want to go.
So by this point your video should be finished and ready to upload. What now, Ducky? It's time to get to work on your thumbnail and your title. Now your videos are boring, uninteresting dribble with absolutely nothing noteworthy happening in them. So I'm sure that you're thinking putting a very clickable title on them is going to be quite a daunting task. And normally it would to anybody with a shred of integrity. But integrity is something you needn't bother your pretty little head about. It'll only hold you back. So with integrity cast aside, titling a video becomes quite easy. All you gotta do is lie. Just lie. Just make something up that's more interesting. Instead of vlog on food shopping, call it cucumbers and mom gone sexual. Instead of eating the hottest pepper ever, call it I never washed my hands before fingering my girlfriend. Instead of guess her age challenge, call it try not to ejaculate challenge. Look, you get the idea. But if you struggle with this, here's a handy little mini tip. Just pop over to Facebook and find that one attention whore friend you have that posts intentionally vague posts in order to get people to talk to them. You know, they post shit like, you can't trust some people, how could this day get any worse? Or the ever popular, you won't believe what just happened. Just copy and paste those, changing it to all caps and throw in a handful of exclamation marks for good measure. Thumbnails are equally as easy. Take a picture of yourself with a completely over-the-top expression, like a face you'd never actually pull in public out of fear of being evaluated for the funny house. Put that to one side of the thumbnail, with an oversized, preferably red, arrow pointing to the other side of the thumbnail, where you'll have one of the following: a scantily clad lady with censor bars over her genitals despite the fact she's fully clothed, a large YouTuber like PewDiePie or Jake Paul, or a combination of both. And for the final touch, put a big red circle around them because the arrow alone is not going to be enough, and you want to make sure people see the thing that you're already pointing at. All going well, you should be starting to assemble somewhat of a sizable audience of a few thousand or so, which would be good enough for most people. But you're not most people. You have a bank account to fill and an ego to feed, and you're not going to do that with a few thousand preteen girls. Not legally anyway. So you may be wondering, how do I skip all this natural growth that'll probably take years and get a much larger audience that will somewhat satisfy me financially and stroke my ego better than a wank in the mirror? Well, like any tip on this list, it's pretty simple. All you gotta do is befriend a YouTuber that has a much larger audience than you. Make them fan art, edit their videos, pester them on Twitter, whatever it takes. Think of their channel as a big juicy cock, and you, my friend, are a hungry hippo. Because if you suck somebody good enough for long enough, they'll start liking you. And all going well, they'll want people to suck you off also as thanks, resulting in shoutouts and invaluable exposure on a much larger scale than what you could have achieved on your own. But don't stop swallowing that baby batter just yet. You still got work to do, and you gotta keep them sweet. For now. Now it's time to initiate part 2 of this step. The step that will launch you directly into the spotlight of YouTube fame that you have been up to this point underachieving and undeservingly striving for. Because it's only with a large YouTube friend and a sizable audience this can be accomplished with. What you need to do now is stay close to your new big YouTube friend. Defend him and encourage him whenever's needed. You're friends, and that's what friends are for. Over time they'll learn to trust you as a friend and be more comfortable speaking their mind around you, and consequently leave you privy to information that they may not want the world to know about. All the while you should be taking notes. But why should you be taking notes of all the missteps of your new friend? Because you're going to fuck them with it. Yep, that's right. You're going to make a video exposing them for everything they did and said when nobody else was watching. Doesn't matter how menial or meaningless it was. Be it talking shit behind somebody's back, because none of us has ever done that. To sleeping with a 16-year-old when they were 16. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. This is YouTube, and from pedo allegations to fidget spinners, everything regardless of what it is blown completely out of proportion. And a surefire way to get attention from millions on YouTube is being involved in drama of any sort. But not just being involved. You gotta be the person exposing the bad guy. So by contrast, you seem like a nice guy doing the right thing. Though in reality you're just fucking over somebody who thought you were their friend to elevate your status on YouTube. But most people won't see that. They'll just be cheering you on all the while your channel rockets to the top, and their channel will bleed out like a menstruating stab victim. Don't look at other YouTubers like they're people. You need to look at them for what they really are. Stairs to climb to get to the top, and you're gonna step on every step of the way. I do what I like, just what I like. And of course I've saved the single most important step for last. This step will make or break your channel, and without this step, all previous steps are null and void. Without this tip, you can dump out all the videos you want, beg for all the likes you want, and pander to all the preteen girls you want for as long as possible, and you won't see any growth. So come closer. Are you ready to hear what it is that, when combined with all these other tips, will result in the true YouTube recipe for success? Okay? All you have to do is be conventionally attractive. In hindsight, I probably should have opened with that,